We asked you on our social media channels for your MTG hot takes. Today we are reviewing them, rating them, and probably giving you some of our own devilishly disgusting opinions. Okay, Steve, are you ready to see the first opinion?
I'm ready to see the first opinion.
First up, we have one from Instagram stories. Gravitas Moore says, Ashes to Ashes is the best mono black removal spell in EDH.
False.
False. What is the best? What is the best in EDH?
This card's not the greatest mono black removal spell in EDH. It's sorcery speed.
Yep.
Not good. It's more than 2 mana. Not good. You take 5 damage, and they have to be non-artifact creatures, and more these days there's more types. Every creature is an artifact, an enchantment, or something or other.
I like it. It's a cool card. You've got cards like Flare of Malice that can remove and can potentially be free if you sack something else. There are a lot of other cards out there. So I would say this is a hot take to say that this is the best.
That is a hot take, because the best spell is Deadly Relic, obviously. What's better?
Yeah. Things like Soul Shatter is also, I think that's an instant rather than sorcery, and you're taking out something of each from your opponent. So there are a lot of good options there. This is getting a very, very hot take for me.
It's extremely hot. Coming in hot.
So before we get on to the next hot take, make sure if you're buying any product, then check out our Magic Madhouse link in the description below, as well as our Linktree, which has all sorts of various links, socials, this, that. Give us a follow. The next hot take is from one of our favourite people, and that is Volrath the Fallen from Instagram. And his hot take is the 3-1 model was the best and needs a comeback. So 3 sets per block and then 1 core set each year. And 5 commander deck bundles once a year. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yes, there's a lot of product coming out all the time, seemingly. It feels like every 4 weeks there's something new coming out. Yeah, 3 sets block were cool. I think that was before I actually got into playing Magic, but I understand how it worked and how the themes and that tied into each other. That seems really flavourful and cool to me.
I completely agree with Volrath. I think there's obviously far too many sets. There was far more synergy when it was blocks. You had like Innistrad block, you had Ixalan block, you had obviously way further back blocks as well. Yeah, we have so many sets now, and I don't think this is hot at all. I think this is as cold as you get. I completely agree.
I totally agree with this. This isn't a hot take at all. Freezing cold.
Volrath, you got this. This is completely correct. Okay, for the next hot take from YouTube, we have Mufasa Fall Down 8401 with a garish Lion King name, I guess, that says Watsy isn't managing power creep very well.
Can we just talk about that name for a second?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, Lion King was 90s, but I think that's too soon, you know.
Too soon.
Too soon. Too soon.
Why bring that up? That's ruined my day.
That name is a hot take. That name is scorching. But yes, the matter of Watsy isn't managing power creep very well. Hot or not?
Not hot at all. I think everyone agrees with this.
Yeah.
Like every set, there's a new, absolutely busted, crazy card. So yeah, I'd say they aren't managing it very well.
Or you just get the comparisons like the old 6/6 Colossal Dreadmore, and now things for the exact same mana are, ridiculous. We'll probably have Vigilance, Trample, Reach, Ward, 7. All for
three
6.
cost 6/6 when it attacks, draw a card.
Yeah. No, again, this is another lukewarm to freezing. This is not very hot. Okay, and maybe the hottest take on this entire list, sent over from one of our MTG besties, Adam from Chad Magic. Wally from Chad Magic. That was gross. I've never called him Adam, but I'm looking at his username. It says, Steve from GTM is the sexiest content creator in history. That is the hottest take I've ever heard.
Coldest take I've ever heard. That is obviously so true. I mean,
that is ridiculous. If you let us know in the comments if you agree with that one, who do you think is the hottest content creator in MTG history? I'm getting burnt. That is too hot for me. Now we'll move over to a hot take from TikTok and user Teehee, the Wizard Gnome. They say they should ban all 2-card combos, in brackets, not a system where the cards are banned, but rather you can't have both in a deck. So essentially ruling out infinite combos. Hot or not?
They're saying 2 card combos. So that's as Oracle, take it back, stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean, essentially, I read that as mainly getting rid of infinite.
No, because you can have 3 card combos, 4 or 5 card combos, 6 card combos. Like that's, a lot harder to get off. But I think these are trying to say this is okay, it's my turn, I win now.
I think it's a hot take to say that they should all be banned. I'd say it's a really hot take.
Yes.
I do like in circles, especially circles that we play in, people saying ahead of time, I've got this coming up, and almost giving you the turn, giving you the chance to deal with it. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But saying it should ban all 2 card combos is crazy.
That's a very hot take.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. No.
It's
hot.
Almost
steaming hot.
Almost as hot as saying you're the sexiest content creator.
Steaming hot.
Yeah, steaming hot. And now we go back over to Instagram with Biomech MTG. He says, players starting with Commander is ruining MTG. EDH doesn't teach people how to play properly. It's all about mid-range casual, not being taught about all the other styles of play. Steve, as a lifelong only really Commander player, what do you think on that?
I totally agree with him. I don't think this is a hot take at all. I think this is a cold take.
Cold take.
You're a good guy, Biomech MTG. We've had some good games previously.
Yeah.
But puts out good content. Go check him out.
Yeah.
But I totally agree. Because you're playing casual games with your friends, you're like, oh, can I take this back and can I, just change this? Everyone's like, yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Takesy backsies.
Takesy backsies. Whereas to be fair, my only other experience of it is playing on Arena, and that really helped with teaching how steps and phases work and how priority works, and when you can respond. Like, it does my head in when people play a land and someone goes in response. I'm like, hey, you can't do that. Or you sacrifice something, they go in response. Before you sacrifice that, kill it. I'm like,
so also not very
work.
hot. Not very hot.
Yeah, not very hot. At
I mean,
all.
you're clearly getting hot, so we'll leave that there.
I'm getting.
But the thing
You're
is,
flipping. I'm getting hot.
But speaking on Commander, and you really only playing Commander, we'll go back to X with Christian from Chad Magic saying, Steve, yourself, should play other formats. Is that a hot take?
I don't think it's a hot take, no. I think Christian's right. I should play other formats.
I mean,
I'm a very
Christian has been
person.
trying to pivot you to Pioneer for quite a long time.
Stop trying to make Pioneer happen, Christian.
Pioneer's cool. But yeah, I it's not a hot take. It's very cool. You're a massive MTG lover. We don't tell your wife, but you spend all of your money on cards instead of anything else. I think you should. I mean, you should lean into other formats, Steve.
I would if I had anywhere near me that was any, LGS that played any other formats.
Yeah.
So I think my local game store with competitive games on would be Christian's local game store, which is a 2-hour drive away from me. So
yeah. So you should probably move to Liverpool, is what I'm hearing.
I'm going to move to Liverpool. That's a hot take, isn't it?
Yeah, very hot. Next up, we have another one from Instagram from Cryptical. Who says Sol Ring has always been better than Mana Crypt.
That's a very hot take, and it's just objectively wrong.
Yeah, I think it's obviously a very hot take. Mana Crypt is the better card. Obviously, it's a big debate with Mana Crypt getting banned. People saying that Sol Ring should get banned too, but not even objectively, Mana Crypt is the better card.
Yeah, one costs 1 and taps for 2, one costs 0 and taps for 2.
Yeah, people would say that one could effectively deal you damage, and one can't. Trying to look down the middle, but yeah, no, it's
maybe budget is a factor to consider in here. Obviously, Mana Crypt is very expensive. Sol Ring is in every pre-con since forever and costs like 5p.
Yeah.
So gives everyone access to fast mana, which is good, I think. So maybe that's why it's better than Mana Crypt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad with the take, but yeah, it's not a hot take. I respect it, but it's
stick it lukewarm. It's a
lukewarm take. It's a lukewarm take. Okay, next we shall go over to Instagram stories where Phyrexian Prophet said, free my homie Linktree, he did nothing wrong. Obviously, Linktree was one of the companions from Ikoria that was banned in EDH and Brawl. How hot are you on this,
before
Steve?
it was even released.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course it was. It was before, wasn't it? Yeah, so...
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's been 4 years since Ikoria. We need to return to Ikoria first off. That's my hot take.
Not hot at all.
I
think...
I say free Linktree.
I can see why they banned him, because his restriction for as a companion was each card in your deck has to have a different name, which is Commander. So any deck running blue or red would have him as an extra card, just with no downside to it at all.
Also, before it got banned, companion hadn't been errated, had it?
Yeah, so it was just an extra card in your hand, basically.
Yeah.
And you could probably do some pretty crazy stuff just copying a spell whenever you wanted to. However, they errated the way companion works, and you have to pay 3 to put it into your hand. So that brings them down a level.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's a hot take personally.
I don't think it's too hot a take.
Agree.
But I see why it's banned. So I'm going to say lukewarm.
Lukewarm. Yeah. So looking now, let's go back to Instagram. We've got one of the OG followers of our channel, Riku Way to the Dawn. Shout out Riku. He says they need to stop pushing green into other colours effects. Steve?
He's right. Green is good at everything.
Yeah.
You've got card draw in green, you've got life gain in green, you've got removal in green. It's mostly fight spells or whatever. Ramp, obviously, and that's the whole suite of big massive creatures, and that's everything that Commander wants to be. However, I don't think it's the best at any of them, apart from ramp, I think.
Yeah, I mean green is ramp.
So I see where Riku's coming from, but I don't think I agree with him. I think this is a bit of a hot take. I think green is like second or third best at all the things that it does, apart from ramp. So
yeah, I agree. Riku, you did it. You successfully made a hot take for Steve. You didn't make him scorching, but you made him pretty hot.
Made me think a little bit.
Yeah. But speaking of colours, let's go to Law of the Spark. Shout out Law of the Spark for saying white doesn't need card draw.
No, it doesn't. This has been a hot take since we started playing Magic. But there's loads of cards in white that draw cards.
I think it's the argument that people say that white is probably the most underbalanced colour in EDH specifically.
Trouble in Pairs, one of the most busted cards ever. That's card draw on everybody's turn, so you could be drawing loads of cards off that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You've got all the white weenie sort of stuff, Welcoming Vampire and Enduring Vitality that's just been released whenever small creatures enter the battlefield, draw a card. So maybe that restricts you to a certain type of deck building, but when you pick a colour, that's what you do, isn't it? They all have their own identities. So I totally agree with Law of the Spark. White doesn't need card draw, it's got plenty.
Law of the Spark, I think that's below lukewarm. I think that's completely ice cold. I fully agree with Law. You have ice in your veins, Law of the Spark. That is ice cold. Let's stick with Instagram and go to our good friend of the channel, Dick Tokens, who says...
Get yourself some Dick Tokens.
Yes,
they're good. They're hilarious.
So good. He says people who get free products shouldn't get to make decisions about what is banned or not.
Ooh-wee.
I think as a take, that's probably the hottest question we've had yet.
Well, I can see where he's coming from. Like people who get free stuff, predominantly monetary, I would say. So, for example, people getting free mana crypts, free dog size, not really asked if it gets banned. Can I say asked?
Already
not
got 20 of them, yeah.
Not really fussed if it gets banned, because they have no financial repercussions. If I spent £100 on this card and now I can't play it, brilliant.
Yeah,
that's gonna get a lot of people angry. But someone gave me this card and I can't play it. I don't care.
But yeah, I think I do agree, but I do just like the take overall. It is a hot take.
It is hot, but I also agree. So stick him in lukewarm, right in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Next, we'll go over to YouTube, where Daniel Harrison says they should split EDH in two and put less bans on a more competitive CDH format.
Is this hot?
I think from the offset, this is one of the cooler sort of level questions, because this is something that since the big bans, a lot of people have been saying. So I think if a large audience of people, large volume of people have been saying it, it's not that hot.
I agree in the sense that, people rocking CDH decks and just rock up to a table and pub stomp everyone. And that can happen if there's no clear definition between this is EDH, this is CDH. But then also, a lot of cards that you would say are CDH cards can enable you to play bad stuff better. That makes sense. If you said, oh, okay, ban mana crypt, all fast mana in EDH, it's only available in CDH.
Yeah.
Then what am I going to do with my 8-cost commander? I think he gets removed once, and that's my entire game over. Whereas if I stick a bunch of fast mana in there, I can maybe get him out turn 4, 5, 6, and actually play the game a little bit.
I personally think this is another cool take. Cool take. It's one of them where it's like split. People are either going to think that is hot or cold.
I think it's a hot take. I don't think they should do it. The bracket thing that Wizards of the Coast are bringing in seems like an interesting way of defining power levels.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think there should be 2 formats. I think it should just be 1 format. So you don't have, in other formats, you don't have competitive legacy and casual legacy. It's just legacy.
Different levels of heat from us there for that one then. Okay, we're going to go back to Volrath the Fallen, who gave another hot take that says, at this rate, MTG will only be crossover/universes beyond sets in a few years. What do you think, Steve?
No, I don't agree with that at all. That's a hot take, Volrath.
I mean, it is a very hot take, but I get what he means. Obviously, in the last year, we've had, Doctor Who, Fallout, Jurassic World, Assassin's Creed, probably others that I can't remember, but that's in the last sort of, 12 months? Like, it's the creep of, universe beyond sets are rising at a very fast rate.
Yeah, but it also gets new people into the game. Like, the amount of people who are going to come to the game because of the Marvel sets coming out next year is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, but the hot take isn't about getting new people into Magic. It's about that it will only be crossover sets.
So I don't agree with you, Volrath. I think you're saying, we should go back to a 3-set block and 1 core set.
I don't agree. I don't think it'll only ever just get to a point where it's just Universes Beyond. But I do get the take. Like, the rate of them is increasing. So, like, for me, this is a hot take just saying it will just be Universes Beyond. But I do get what he's saying, if you know what I mean. It's a hot take, but I think
it goes more along with the amount of product that gets released in general. I don't think as a ratio it will change. It's just, it feels like we're getting more because there's more product being pushed out. It's
a hot take, but I respect the take. You know what, Steve? Let's stick with Volrath because he gave us a trifecta of hot takes. He says, all basics should be full art now. I don't get why the main set is just full art, but the bundles and commander get non-full art.
Yeah, I agree. Full arts are just better, aren't they? And they should just do it. Yeah. So, crack on, Wizards. Listen to Volrath. He's a good guy. It's
just a cash grab, though, isn't it? It's something that, again, another one of Volrath takes that I do agree with and get, but sadly Wizards are never going to do that because then that's essentially, getting rid of, say, the collector boosters in a sense because they're mainly full arts and borderless and things like that.
Also affects the variety you can have in each set. If you say, right, this is your land for this set and that's all you're getting, I think people would be a bit annoyed by that. I think they don't have the choice.
People would moan as well because they would then suddenly, if everything was full art, then you'd miss what it used to be. People can't be pleased. But I guess it is kind of a hot take because it's something that would never happen and it's something that I've never thought of. So yeah, I think it's another solid hot take.
Hot take, steaming hot. Hot.
Steaming hot.
How wowie.
Volrath, you get a star for hot takes. So for the last hot take we got on X, Affinity for Commander, shout out to you, love Affinity for Commander. They say Biorhythm and Coalition Victory have no business being on the EDH ban list in the Lord's year of 2024.
Hot take, but Biorhythm can just kill people and they don't have anything they can do about it, really. I mean, it does cost 8, kind of like ends the game.
It could be another one.
I'm changing my mind as we speak.
I was about to say, so it could be one of them like in a playgroup. You sort of say you've got this coming up. Can you deal with it? I think it should be unbanned. I think especially the Lord's year of 2024, there are a lot worse cards now that are really disgusting.
What else is 8 mana? Creative Behemoth. It's also a green card that's 8 mana that kills people outright. So. Yeah, unban it. I've changed my mind entirely.
Nice. So we agree on biorhythm. Steve, what do you think on another big spenny card, Coalition Victory?
Yeah, unban it, wizards, you cowards.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Cost 8 mana, 3 in Wooburg. You win the game if you control a land of each basic land type and a creature of each colour. It's quite hard to do.
So you flip reversed it. This is basically an ice cold take. Affinity for commander. They've got it bang on. Yeah, I agree. Ice cold.
Go check out Affinity for commander.
Yes, absolutely. Back to Instagram, and the chattering says that 2-colour decks are the most fun to play.
Wrong.
Do you have a combo
Hot take.
of colours? Do you have a combo of colours that you think is the most fun?
No, Mr. Chattering. Yes, mono-colour decks tend to be quite focused on the one thing that they're doing. 2-colour decks adds in a splash of something else. 3-colour decks, I think is the sweet spot where your deck's got a plan, but can pivot and do other stuff, and there's a couple of other things going on, and every game is interesting and a bit different.
Okay, so you're kind of like, it's not the worst take for you, but it's a little bit hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think this is a hot take as such, because
I don't think it's hot. I've got decks of varying colours that I think are fun. One of my favourite decks is Ayara, and that's mono black. Yeah, I know it's not a bad take, but it's fairly hot. It's simmering.
Yeah, lightly simmering.
But I think again that's just one that very much comes down to opinion, and one that probably isn't more opinion based. From Instagram, we've got From the Forge Altars says Infect should come back. No, Toxic is not Infect.
Do it.
I agree.
Just crack on.
Whack out.
People are like, don't play Infect because you only have to get to 10 and then you die. So it's like, just play the game, man. It's got to end somehow. Yeah. If Infect's the way, then crack on.
So Wizards, next few sets, get rid of Ward, throw back some Infect.
That's a hot take.
That could
get rid of Ward.
That could be for the next one.
Just stick hexproof on everything. I don't think so.
Yeah, just fuck Ward. No, so that is a fairly cool take. We both agree. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to Law of the Spark, who says buying Magic cards as an investment is an awful financial decision.
Cold take. That's totally true.
Yeah. You know what? Let's leave it at that. True.
This is a children's card game, people.
So we have one final hot take, and that is from Dustz. I think I said that right with all the Zs. We need more fast mana combo enablers, something like Sol Ring meets card draw. That way we can make 60 card decks have one card restricted list.
This is the hottest take I've ever seen in my life.
I think we're ending on lava. This is
Sol Ring meets card draw. Are you crazy?
What? I don't know, something about the hotter the take, the more I love it. Like I respect this opinion. This is crazy.
60 card deck have one card restricted list. Don't they restrict things in formats, don't they?
There's ban list. Well, Brawl 60 cards. That's got a ban list. There's already a 60 card list, but maybe he just means merging them all and having one card list. I don't know.
No, so in other formats, for example, Vintage, for example, you have cards that are restricted, and there have been talk in Modern recently about whether the One Ring should be the one ring in your deck instead of one of 4 rings in your deck, so it should be restricted. So restricted thing is already, but Sol Ring meets card draw is the most insanely
It's the hottest thing I've ever
heard
seen.
in my life.
Okay, so we're putting that on like magma level. Okay, so that is all our hot takes. What did you think of the takes, and what did you think of our takes of the takes? If you want us to do this again, just let us know. Put some of your hot takes in the comments. Steve, have you got anything to add?
What's your problem with Ward, man?